to the wiring part of this system, this bracket is going to come, this is going to be attached to your bracket. And your bracket, you're basically going to have a push pin that's is going to be available to you. That is going to be right here that goes in. And then this one right here and this one right here that's going to attach to your car. This piece is already going to be attached with the kit, and so is this bus system. This is your fuse. And this wire will be attached too. This is going to be your power wire that this is going to hook up to your power distribution box down here. You want a good battery type connection to that with not a bunch of stuff stacked on there. Same thing with your ground. Your ground wire is right here. You've got one wire that's going to come in here, which will be already on the thing, and then you've got one that goes out to your pumps. Now there's going to be, this is going to be two different, you can mount it down here. We prefer it up by the battery. You can mount it here, but like this gentleman has amps, so you don't want to stack a bunch of grounds on there. You're not going to get a good connection at all. So you want a good solid connection with your ground also. It's very, very important. So your wiring harness, depending on if you have 2 or 3 pumps, is going to be all loom pre-wired, and they're going to be labeled. You're going to have pump 1, pump 2, and possibly pump 3. Pump 1, if you look here, it's going to be right down here. It's going to say pump 1. You're going to attach that to right here. Be careful when you're tightening these things. You don't want to over tighten. You will break this brass fitting, and we'll have to buy another one. They are very easy to break. So you want to be real careful getting these on. You just want them snug so they don't move around on loose on here, but don't try to over tighten them. They will break, I promise you. This ground right here will already be attached. This will already be attached. So you're just going to be attaching your pump wires. You're going to attach this wiring harness right here. This is your fuel pressure and your map sensor harness, and that's going to run up through the car, and that's just going to connect right into here. That's it. Super simple. You're going to attach all your factory stuff back in the factory location. It's all going to be simple plug and play, and that's all you have to do here in the back. You're going to route your wires, your set of wires, right up underneath your seat, going up through there, and then you're going to bring it out, and that's finishing up the back part of your wiring harness. And then we'll move on to the tank and then up to your map sensor. Alright, so now we're going to drop the fuel tank and run the lines. So you're going to take your 13mm bolts and take the bolts out of the bracket. And then you're going to pull your stock fuel line out, which you've already got disconnected from the pumps, and it's just going to come right out. It's not that hard. So once you have these down, you're going to take your line that's provided for you, and the 90 degree is going to go up inside, and your 5/16 quick disconnect is going to connect into your factory line right here. So you're just going to route it up in the same location. You'll actually see a divot where it goes up in the factory. And you don't have to worry about the gas tank going anywhere. And also it's a good idea to have at least no more than like a quarter of a tank of gas, just so it's easier to get back in. So you're just going to route it and push it all the way through there. You're going to take your little screw off your 5/16 quick disconnect, put it on the line, put your new line on here. Make sure you have it down seated, and drop your coupling. You gotta stick it in there, and then you're gonna tighten it with a 9/16 wrench. And before you put this back in, we have spacers that are provided too. That'll drop the tank a little bit. That'll keep that line from getting squished. Little spacers that you put in there. But before you do that, you want to get back up top and you want to attach your fuel line to your pumps, which we'll go to next. Okay, so you got your fuel pump out, your stock fuel pump basket, and you're going to have your passenger side transfer line and your sending unit, wires. So you're gonna have to cut the factory one off, and there's gonna be two provided that you're gonna crimp these on, and then this side will be ready. So I've got this separated just for so you guys can see. Before you put this in, you're gonna hook up your black, one of your blacks, it doesn't matter which one, and your blue wire that are coming out of the new hat into these. And then you're gonna take your transfer, and be careful because your float here, you're gonna set your float in on an angle, get it down in here started, and you're gonna plug your transfer line in and plug your two wires that go to the sending unit into the hat. And then once you get down in there, you'll have your hat set on, which we've got a demonstration hat here, but it'll have your wire, your lines. This will all be on one piece, which we'll probably edit this and show that. But you'll have this hat down in there, and you'll have these wires, and you're gonna plug in one of these blacks, it does not matter which one, and this blue wire into the passenger side of your float. Then your other white wire and your other black wire are gonna go on your sending unit on the driver's side, pumps. Okay, so you've got your wiring ran up to your tank, and you're gonna have 3 pump connectors, which one of them only has one wire. That's for a future upgrade. You'll have one wired pump 1 and one wired pump 2. You're gonna take your factory harness, and you're gonna have to cut the connectors, and you've got 5 wires here. One that's a black that you're not gonna use, that's just a ground. You don't have to worry about it, it's just a ground, it's not gonna do anything. Then you have your primary wire, which is your ignition wire, which you're gonna hook up to this wire on your wiring harness. And then you're gonna have a blue and white, a black, and a blue and gray wire. The blue and white wire, you're gonna put a connector on, male connector, or a female connector, and you're gonna hook it up to the white wire. And then your other blue wire, you're gonna hook it up to the blue wire, and your black wire, you're gonna hook up to the black on your wiring harness. So once you have that, you've also got your fuel pressure sensor wire, and you're gonna have this connector here. So this connector is gonna go towards the passenger side, and you're gonna get it started, and you're not gonna tighten it down completely. The reason being is because you have your fuel line that you ran earlier just sitting here. And if you notice, we've got the fuel tank still down, and there's a reason for that, so you have more movement and ease of use when you're trying to put all this in, because when you put this in, this is going to be a little bit harder to move around. And this will move around so you can get it to position where you want it. So when you have this on there, you just want it finger tight so it's on there correctly, and then you're going to go ahead and put on your other fuel line that came from underneath the car that we put on in the earlier step. Then once you get where you wanted, you want to make sure that these are positioned to where you can tighten them down. So you're going to grab, this is a dash 10, dash 8. 10 for that fitting, 8 for this fitting. You're going to get it snug, and you're going to push down on this line to where it's your fuel line, to where you know that it's down. And you're going to tighten it. And if it moves up on you, you can always loosen it up here, re-loosen it, push down on it with your thumb to make sure it stays down, and then tighten. And then you're just going to double verify here that this is tight. And once it's tight, then you're ready to go. You've got your lock on, everything's wired up. You're going to hook up your pump 1, pump 2 little label to the pump 1 and pump 2 here. And then before you get back underneath the car, you've got your map sensor wire It's one more set of wires, and you're going to run it from here. You're going to run it all the way through up to the underneath the driver's side. You can pop these panels here and just follow it through. Right here, you can pop it out a little bit, and you can feed it up underneath the carpet and go to the other side. Pop your panel off your driver's side, and then go up through the firewall, and then it'll come out and go into the map sensor. Okay, so the location of the map sensor, we're going to put, I've left plenty of lines, so you can pretty much put it anywhere in this vicinity, but I like to put it right here. And then once you hook it up, you're going to run your line through the car, and you're going to pull this back and run this line through the car and just push this back on. It's got a protective thing on there to make sure it doesn't cut the wire. And then you're going to find a boost source for your map sensor. It has to be a boost source. Don't tie it into your vacuum booster because that's not good. So you got to have a boost source for whatever application you're using. Alright, so when you go to put your fuel tank back in the car on the 5.764s, you've got two sets of spacers. You've got a long set with bolts, and you've got a short set. The long set's going to go in the front, the one more forward to the car, front of the car, and the smaller ones go on the rear car. It just gives you a little bit more room for that fuel line when you're installing it, the tank back up in there. So you're going to be supplied a fuel pressure gauge. You want to set your base pressure between 58 and 60. It's going to vary because of the variable voltage fuel pump, so it's moving the voltage to maintain the pressure. We want to stay up around 58 and 60 because this has an Venturi system and we need that pressure so it transfers from the other pump. So come back to the back of the car. Your voltmeter. Depending on your setup, it's going to be this setup here. We're around 6 volts at idle. So if your fuel pressure is too high, you're going to turn the dial down slightly until you get your fuel pressure up here, and you're probably going to drop your voltage down. And it's that easy to set.